The Hogsmill River is a chalk stream rising at the spring line here at Ewell below the Epsom Downs and running for about 7 miles into the Thames at Kingston. The name may date back to medieval times when John Hogg was a prominent Kingston landowner. Before 20th century suburban development, the river had a much higher flow rate and powered many watermills. Ewell Hire Mill ground flour up until 1953 before domestic consumption left too little water in the river to turn its wheel. Now it's office space. This house, now flats, is all that remains of the lower paper mill that burned down in 1938. The race still flows in memoriam. After the railway line, the Hogsmill is joined by its Green Lane branch. I'm only mentioning a couple of the river's branches, and the Green Lane branch particularly because it is the most distant from the river's mouth. From under this striking building in Medway, Epsom, a spring flows north and is joined by another culverted stream from Epsom Common. Traditionally, it is the shorter Ewell stream on the left that is called the source. Between the stepping stones in the A3, you can see on the graphic where the other branches from Chesington, Horton and Tolworth join. But the branch that I'm going to feature is the Ewell Court stream. Gunpowder mills were built here by Alexander Bridges in the 1730s. He used the profits to develop Ewell Court on the site of an earlier building. The lake in the grounds drains into the Hogsmill, and the old millstones, the highly explosive mill was forced to close in 1875, have been incorporated into the current water features. Some of the first gunpowder mills in the country were built by George Evelyn in the 1560s. He owned mills here at Worcester Park. There were 12 gunpowder mills on the Hogsmill. One exploded in 1757 and was so loud it was heard in London and thought to be an earthquake. A demolished gunpowder mill on this stretch of the river provided the background to Holman Hunt's 1851 painting of the Light of the World. The banks of the Hogsmill also feature in his Hireling Shepherd, along with his local model and houseguest, Emma Watkins, maybe showing Holman Hunt in another light. A brother pre-Raphaelite, John Everett Millais, used another stretch of the river as his setting for Ophelia. The critics were, of course, much more in sympathy with sacrificed virginity posed in the bath by Lizzie Siddall in 1852 than they were with the living and breathing Emma Watkins. Beyond the A3, the Hogsmill heads northwest to the Thames at Kingston. This Little League, wrecked by Kingstonian Cricket Club, was hoping to catch a rather large chub that also eluded me. The Hogsmill is a remarkably accessible little river until it goes under the railway line at Berrylands. Then it is hidden behind some very spiteful-looking fences for just under a mile. The river itself has nothing to hide, but his innocence is captured inevitably by sewerage treatment works. However, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and as you can see, the treated effluent boosts the flow of the river considerably and adds a certain eau de toilette. Long-tailed tits hunt insects along the margins, and the gnat-abundant banks of a river they find very attractive. The Hogsmill is now entering Kingston upon Thames, making its entrance to the King's enclosure via the Middle Mill complex, now halls of residence for Kingston University. The river rushes past this, the Kingstone in Kingston. The tun bit means enclosure rather than this lump of sarsen, quartz and silica that was probably just a horse mountain block. But 7 Saxon kings were crowned in the town, all in the 10th century. Including my own favourite, Ethelred the Unready. He has been dogged for 1,000 years by a mistranslation of his name, which actually means badly advised nobleman, and was in fact the longest serving of the Saxon kings. Just across the old Portsmouth Road from the stone is the 12th century Clacton Bridge. It gets its name from the sound of horses passing across. It's one of the oldest bridges in Surrey. Chub at last. I knew all those herons couldn't be wrong. And so ends the Hogsmill, a pretty river, even in the middle of winter.